Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I hope you are enjoying the videos. For more insight on HR practices and real corporate world exposure, please subscribe to our channel, like the video and do share it with others. Also, please press the bell icon to never miss an update from HR Success Talk. Thanks a lot. Enjoy this video.
Hello everyone, my name is Jivanshu Singla and we are going to learn about the interesting topic of pivot tables today in MS Excel. We had a discussion last time regarding the regarding generation of pivot tables from data, how to create pivot tables, how to use the design fields, how to use the value field settings. Today we are going to go a step further and see the pivot table options, the analyze ribbon, how to create multiple pivot tables using the filter optionality, how to insert slicers in pivot tables, how to create pivot charts. So without further ado, let's initiate this. So here I have the same data we discussed last time. We have the employee list wherein we have the name, gender, salary, perks, location, rating. Let's first of all create a pivot table of this data. We'll select the data, click on insert pivot table. In a new worksheet, we'll create the pivot. Let's use for a sample salary in values. We'll use department in filter tables. Then we can use location in rows, we can use rating in rows, we can use gender in columns. So if you'll see, our pivot table is created. Now let's put some designing in this as well. Let's go to design. Let's use light orange. We can also select the data. We can put commas here, decimals, so that it is more presentable. I'll also show this in a tabular format as well. So a pivot table is created. We can also filter the locations. Like if I can filter, I have all the three locations. I can filter out one of the locations so that only two are visible. Now, now let's start first of all with the pivot table options. So in any pivot table, if you click anywhere, you can see the value field settings like we discussed last time. The second option is pivot table options. If I click on that, you can see the pop-up menu for pivot table options is visible now. Here you will see pivot table name in the first table. You can change the pivot table name. For example, if I change it to sample employee pivot, click on OK. So the pivot table name would be changed. Just to see any pivot table name, if I go to analyze, here at the top, at the leftmost option, you can see pivot table name, sample employee pivot. I'll right click again, I'll go to pivot table options. The second option here to see is that it is merge and center cells with labels. If you'll see here, the location Los Angeles have around 6 ratings. Now, either I can see Los Angeles in the first row, or I can see Los Angeles in all the 6 rows using repeat option under design. As a third alternative, I can click on merge and center cells with labels, which will merge this cell row 5 to row 10 and present Los Angeles in a single cell. So let's see how it works. I'll click on OK. So here, if you'll see, Los Angeles is the cell has been merged for all the ratings, and Los Angeles, one Los Angeles is appearing. Similarly for Wellington, it is appearing. I'll go again to pivot table options. If I want to remove this, I can just click on merge and center cells again, and it will be removed. The second option is that if you go to pivot table options, so before that, if you'll see, if I make change in any of the data, for example, here we are seeing Los Angeles average. If in the data, I select Los Angeles, employees having average rating. And if I select all the salary and let's say if the salary is being changed to 0 for all the employees. Now, if I'll refresh this data, so the column widths may be changed a little bit. So let me do something to present you. Let's change the salary to, so I've changed the salary to 1 CR for all the employees. We'll refresh it again. you'll see the column width has been increased a little bit. So I'll just undo. If you see D column, which was earlier appearing as 104 pixels, after getting refreshed, it has been increased to 113 pixels. So what happens is that while this is a very small change, when we are working in large cumbersome data sizes and sheets having multiple pivot tables and we click on refresh all, then it can create an issue because multiple pivot tables refreshing in one go, the column widths can largely change. Take an example, if I change one of the ratings to average 1001, 10001, and again refresh this table. So if you'll see the column width is again increased. So what if I don't want to increase the column width in any case if the pivot table is refreshed? Then in the pivot table options we can go. There is an option of auto fit column widths on update. If I'll uncheck this option and click on OK. Now if we make any change, for example, let's make one more change. In the average, I'll just mention average test 10001. Now if I'll refresh, you'll see the column width is not increased. While the data is refreshed, the rating is increased. One more rating is now visible, but the column width has not been increased. While the text is not visible due to non-increase of column width, I can manually increase it. But it is up to me how much I want to increase the column width or decrease it. It is not going to be increased automatically. The next is that if I see any data, for example, in Los Angeles, I want to see the data for not rated. I want to see the detailed data. Instead of going to data and filtering it, there is another option. If I want to see the data set extract for this 16 lakh 31,000, I can just double click at it as well. So pivot tables have the awesome functionality that if you click any cell having data, you double click that cell, then the extract of your original data from which pivot table is generated will be extracted in a separate Excel sheet. If you'll see, like I clicked on 16 lakhs, the amounts, the data having 16 lakh amount have been extracted in sheet 18, and it has been extracted in a new pivot, in a new table. So if I'll increase the column width, you'll see all the data fields that were available in the original data have been generated, extracted, and put in a new Excel worksheet in the same workbook. So if I want to see, for example, the data against 13 lakhs, so it will auto filter the data once I double click and generate the 13 lakh value in a new Excel worksheet. Now the third functionality which we can see here is that if you'll see Los Angeles and Wellington have a minus sign just before them. So what happens that if I click on minus sign, the data would be grouped against the subsequent columns. So if I clicked on minus sign, the Los Angeles, all the ratings that were available here were grouped and the final amounts have been shown. If I click on plus sign again, then the rating would be again shown. So what if I don't want to present these plus or minus buttons to the third person? So if you'll see here in under the Analyze tab in the MS Excel workbook, there is at the end there is a button feature of plus minus buttons. If you click on this, then the plus minus buttons that were visible on pivot tables would be removed. So if you want them to reappear, you can just click on plus minus buttons again. Now the next is that if you want to remove the field headers, so if you'll see it was appearing as gender, rating, location. If you don't want to show these gender, rating or location column headers, you can click on field headers and it would be removed. To make them appear again, you can just re-click on field headers. The next option is that, like we discussed earlier, we can introduce slicers to pivot tables as well. If I click on slicers, all the field headings that were available would be visible. If I click on, for example, department, I'll click on OK. All the departments that were available in the data field would be available. I click on any of the department and the data relevant for only that department would be filtered out automatically in the pivot table. So we had already discussed the various features of slicers in a separate video. So I'm going to skip that. Coming to analyze again. Now there is one more amazing feature of pivot tables, insert timeline. So if I click on insert timeline, we had mentioned joining date in the data set. So what happens? It shows the timeline of all the details. Like if I click on joining date, our joining date that was mentioned in the data extract were available for financial year 20 for calendar year 2020, and it was for the date for the period January to December. So it's just like a slicer. So timeline is basically just like a slicer. What would happen if I click on May? All the employees that had joined in the month of May. So take an example, if I go to data, I go to joining date, I select May. I want to see all the employees that had been joined in the month of May. I can go to sheet 17, a pivot table. I can directly click on May. So it is an awesome feature to again filter out your data for the ease of reference. So you can just select the month and the data would be filtered. I can also increase the duration like May, June, July. I can increase that as well. Also, if I don't want in more detail, instead of months, I can select dates. So if you'll see here, the timeline has been increased on a date level. So if just instead of the for the complete month of January, I need to select some specific dates. I need to see the employees that had joined the company for during the first 5 days. What was their salary? So I can see that if I select 1 to 5, the employees that had joined during the first 5 days of the year would be only those would be available. Now again in timeline, just like slicer, there are multiple options. The most common being the design. I can create multiple designs. I can change the color of the color template of the timeline. I can select the header, whether the header should be visible or not. The selection label should be visible or not. The timeline level should be visible or not. That is the days, months, year, quarter. The scroll bar, which was at the bottom, should be visible or not. Also, I can right click it and select size and properties. Like in slicer, I can select whether how to position it, what should be the size, should I log the aspect ratio and other properties, right? So for timelines in slicer, we have a separate topic. Please refer to those for detail. Now I'll just remove the timeline that we filtered. Coming back to analyze. So we just saw field list, plus minus buttons, field headers. Now we also saw refresh. So we saw refresh and refresh all. If there are multiple pivots, we want to refresh all the pivot tables in one go. We can just click on refresh all and all the pivot tables would get refreshed. One of the options here is change data source. If I click on change data source, what would happen? The original data source would be automatically selected. So what is the use of change data source? So there are two uses. First, if you get any data from external source, you can see whether the source against which the pivot table have been generated. The second use of this change data source is that if you want to increase or decrease the change data, the data from which the pivot table has been generated. For example, if you want to remove the rating as a criteria for the pivot table generation, you can just reselect the data. Like here, earlier it was from B to J. Now I have changed it to B to I. So now the rating is not in the data set. If I click on OK, the rating which were earlier appearing have been removed now. If I click on analyze again, change data source, if you'll see only column I, the data is selected. If I select the column J as well, then rating would be available. I need to go to file list. You would see rating is now visible. I can again reselect the rating to rows and a pivot table again is the rating. Coming next to pivot chart. So basically what happens while the data which is already cumbersome to analyze, we can create pivot tables for the ease of reference and ease of analysis. But again, sometimes pivot tables are gets also difficult to analyze. So in that scenarios, we can use pivot charts as well. If I click on pivot chart, all the multiple pivot charts that can be generated using the data are visible. So for taking an example, if I insert a column chart, two of our values are very high. Let's remove those, change those values again. So I'll just put some random values in salary for which we had changed the values. So I had changed the salary for the dummy values that we used earlier. I'll click on refresh. So once you have refreshed the pivot table, if you'll see the pivot chart is also refreshed automatically. Now pivot chart, if you'll see the data filtered that is available on pivot table is also filtered on pivot chart. For example, if I click on department, I use select all, then the data for all the details would be visible on pivot chart as well. So you can clearly see for Los Angeles, the employees having average rating has the highest salary, and all other employees have lower salaries as compared to the average one. So this is majorly due to the dummy data we use for average for our discussion earlier. Now coming back to pivot table, in analyze, we just discussed the plus minus button, field headers, pivot charts. We discussed how to refresh the data, how to change the data source. We discussed how to insert slicer, how to insert timelines. We discussed last time regarding the field settings, how to change the field settings from sum to count, average, max, min, product. We discussed how to show the values as a percentage of the grand total, column total, row total, etc. Now we are also so there is one more option that is very important in pivot tables is that, so let's take an example. If we have this pivot table, we have multiple departments here. If we want to create pivot tables for each and every department, the same pivot table, one option is that we can just drag and copy this sheet multiple times and click on department and select each department one by one, so that we would have multiple worksheets having each department. Another option to create such duplicate sheets with the same filter data is that under the Analyze tab, there is an options on the top left side under pivot table. Instead of options, which will show the pivot table options, you need to click the drop down button in pivot table options. There is an option of show report filter pages. If you click on that, it will show you the option show all report filter pages off. So what it basically does, it shows you the department, because in the filter you had selected only the department. So if you click on OK, then all the departments that are available in the field list, separate worksheets would be generated for each and every department. So let's take let's try once. I'll select department. I'll click on OK. If you'll see now, there are multiple worksheets that have automatically been generated. That is for accounting, business development, engineering, human resource, legal, marketing, and so on. And each pivot table has the same filter data. So you don't need to generate separate pivot tables for each data. You can just click on options, select under the drop down of options, show report filter pages, and create multiple pivot tables in one. So again, one more option that we can discuss here is regarding the clear. So while we have discussed how to insert the data, how to open the data, and so on, if you see there is an option clear. If you click on clear, then you have the option of clear filters and clear all. If I click on clear filters, then all the filters that we use in the pivot table, it would be removed. Second option, if you click on clear all, then what would happen? All the fields that you selected in field list, those would be removed as well. So I'll click on undo. Yeah. So I hope you like the session and it would help you. Thank you. Have a nice day.